Some of the content covered may be graphic in nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
This is a story that like a lot of people are familiar with. This kind of got some steam back in like 2015, but really everyone knows about the Challenger disaster. January 28th, 1986, the Challenger mission STS-51L broke apart 73 seconds after launch, crashing into the Atlantic Ocean. This was caused really by unusual inclement weather, where the shuttle's O-ring seals were not meant to be flown in that cold a temperature, which caused combustion between the rocket boosters. It was really cold that day. I think it's below freezing. So Darren, you were in school at that time, weren't you?
Yeah, I was like in second grade when that happened, or first grade.
Were you watching it on TV?
No. I vaguely remember. The only thing I remember about that was I was like 6 years old. So I remember my teacher coming in, like you could tell she just got done crying because it happened. We didn't watch it live, but we were sent home early after it happened. That I do remember that.
You know, obviously the most memorable part about this, other than it being a crash, was that there was a teacher in space program where,
right,
you know, they put a teacher on, you know, the shuttle. Some interesting facts. The Challenger flew 10 missions. On board were Francis Scobie, Michael J. Smith, Ronald McNair, Ellison Onizuka, Judith Resnick, Gregory Jarvis, and Krista McAuliffe. Where this actually gets kind of weird is in 2015, people started finding pictures of supposedly the astronauts, and they're still alive. I'm going to go through here with you guys and just show you the pictures. We'll kind of just kind of debate this topic. Do I think the astronauts died? I think so, but these are kind of interesting and also a little weird in their own regard.
And another thing that I've done, you know, some research on this, they didn't die at the explosion itself.
No, they lived all the way till impact. That's what
impact, and they went to the ocean.
They're not equipped with a parachute? How does that work?
There was nothing on the shuttle that would allow them to either escape or disconnect from the boosters to land safely.
Wow, so they were almost going to die from the get-go.
Yeah, I mean, once the rocket boosters blew up, it was over. There was no escaping death at that point. There was no way to pitch it and glide back down. Like I said, back in 2015, it started to get some steam that some of these people actually were still really alive and that their deaths were faked. This is the crew, and then next to these pictures are supposedly people that are them today. So this is Richard Scobie, or Francis Richard Scobie, the mission commander. It's kind of weird. The guy kind of looks...
His nose is completely wrong.
His ears are too.
Look, the bridge of his nose is real thin, and this guy looks like he got punched.
I think more or less...
that little growth on the bottom. His is not there at all.
Yeah.
And the ears are different.
I think it's more or less the eyes that get a lot of people.
Dude, you can find a doppelganger for anybody on the planet.
Sure. The other thing that's weird is that this guy kind of resembles him and also has the same name as him.
If he was still alive and he faked his death, why would he keep the same name?
It's a good point. Again, I bring this up only, I want to ride the middle.
No, I know. I'm just saying that seems, I mean, I guess it's like hiding in plain sight, but at the same time, it just seems really stupid.
I mean, all of these are along the lines of that because they're all keeping the same names. They didn't change any of these names. So the current Richard Scobie is the CEO of Cows and Trees, and at the time of the Challenger disaster, he was serving as the CEO and president of the Marketing Edge in Chicago. Again, could they have fabricated somebody's life story up completely? Who knows? Here's the next one. Ronald McNair and then his brother, Carl McNair. They're saying that Carl is actually Ronald, and Carl is just saying that he was the brother of Ronald. Again, up for debate. I mean, you can look here. The gap between his teeth is obviously not the same, but interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that one's a little closer, but still.
But yeah, but they're brothers, so.
Yeah, I'm very skeptical.
Yeah. Next one here is Ellison and Claude Azanuka.
That one looks a lot closer.
Well, I've also heard and read that these guys were twins. So another easy way to fake it if it
Just
was.
say they're twins.
Exactly.
Say they're related.
And even they,
something like that.
they also said that for the last guy too, McNair.
What are the chances that every one of the people on the ship had a twin or?
Well, that's what they were saying too. Is that like how would they?
Was it explained? I might be getting ahead of myself, but was it explained why they would fake their death?
I couldn't find anything. And other than
Unless it was NASA.
Other than to get America behind something,
maybe get more money for funding for a space program or something like that. Like, does it say after this happened, the space program received X amount of funding?
We didn't go up into space for I think a couple of years afterwards. I think it was
4 or 5 years. I thought.
Yeah, it was.
I think Discovery went up next.
So when they do this, is it all the same shuttle? They just have a different crew?
Yeah, we didn't go up to space for another 2 years after that.
It was Discovery.
Yeah. What were you saying, Buddha?
So they use the same shuttle for all of that? It's just a different crew? Is that how that works?
Yeah, there was 5 shuttles. There was Discovery, Endeavour, Columbia, Challenger. There was also a test shuttle too. Atlantis too.
What if they just wanted a new shuttle and they told them no, so they blew it up?
And that's a good point. You know what I mean?
Well, not only that, but I mean, you guys, I'm sure you researched that there was somebody that said this thing that should not go up that day. I forgot his name, and they did it anyway.
Roger Bougele was the engineer who warned about those O-rings. I was watching a documentary the other day about this, and he went home from work that day, and his wife's like, well, how was your day? And he's like, oh, it's great. We're going to kill 7 astronauts tomorrow.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Because he had warned them so many times, he was to the point of yelling matches, and they disregarded it.
Did anybody get in trouble for that?
Oh, yeah. NASA got in big trouble for this. So, it took 2 years before another launch. So, Judith Resnick, same spelling, same. This person does not, in my opinion, does not really look like.
No, not at all.
Not even close.
No. But,
They could also find a picture with worse quality.
Yeah. Supposedly now she's a law teacher, but at the time of the Challenger, this person also was teaching law at Yale and USC, while Judith Resnick, the mission specialist, was working for Xerox and RCA. So, again, all speculation. All right, so this one was kind of weird too.
That looks nothing at all.
I think where people are, it's more about the name. Krista McAuliffe went by her middle name. Her actual first name is Sharon. Sharon A. McAuliffe is a law professor. The teacher that went up in space, her first name was Sharon, but she went by Krista. So, again, not a whole striking resemblance there.
People are really stretching pretty far to try to make this connection.
And a lot of these names are common names.
Yeah.
They're not that uncommon.
Gregory Jarvis was unaccounted for, so that was the only one that nobody could find a doppelganger for. And then lastly, Michael Smith. No explanation other than he's just a professor at the university in Wisconsin. So this guy, he looks, similar. The teeth.
Teeth are wrong.
How?
Here they slant in, and there they slant out.
Where at?
Look, his teeth slant
Two
in,
front
in the
teeth.
center, and on this one they slant out.
Oh yeah, no, I see it now.
Not to mention, you can always tell by ears. Everyone's got a different shape of
All right,
ears.
ear fetish.
So I do have one, yes.
Actually, his ears are a lot smaller than that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can tell by that.
Yeah, but I mean, what is
Maybe he was in a fencing accident.
Can't your ears get bigger over time?
I think that's called growing as you get older.
Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, as people get older, though,
I don't think your ears get bigger as you get older.
like an old man, they got big old ears.
No, they get hairy ears.
No, that's true. This is why we need to go live. Some people can call in and make fun of me. So I don't know. Again, this is just an interesting one that I thought kind of, would be fun to debate on. But I knew you were going to poke holes in every single one of these.
Oh, dude! I've said before, people will try to form a conspiracy out of anything possible, and there's always some truth, and there's always a chance that they're right. But some of these is just like, come on.
Well, and this one here really doesn't even give a. I mean, I understand conspiracy theories, but there's always a say. All right, well, this is why the conspiracy.
There's no hidden agenda.
There's no hidden agenda on this one. It's like, why would you just come back with your normal name and your original name? Like, all right, well, I blew up on the train in the space shuttle, but hey, I'm back now.
Ignore
it.
I have a question. Do these have to be piloted, or can it be like a remote launch where they can control something, remotely?
I believe the launch is remote.
So the people on it don't actually, they're not piloting anything.
I believe at one point, it's like a handoff between like launch
They get
control.
it going.
Yes, launch
launch
controls in Kennedy, and then they take over after a certain set of.
So the reason I bring that up is, talking about the hidden agenda. The only reason I can think of that you would make this blow up is to blow up and get a new ship. But why kill 7 people to do it? Why fake the death of 7 people other than more publicity?
Just started on fire, with nobody
just do
in
a
it.
test launch and
right.
oh, it blew up.
Right.
Sorry, what are we going to do?
That's a good point, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, is it true? Is it not? Again, leave it to Buddha to poke holes in every single thing, or Snopes. I mean, at first I was like, oh, this is fucking insane, and then I went on Snopes and actually read some of the the professions and what the people were doing at the time, and I'm like, this makes more sense now. But interesting topic.
Coming up on the next episode of Type 3 TV.
Yeah, it can.
That's
why I said it can take on personality traits where your brain can be bypass that filter.
Exactly.
And, you're driving down the road and then all of a sudden your hand's flipping somebody off, but you don't know.
Right.
Well, that's it for this week's episode. If you like what you saw, please like, share, subscribe, and comment below. I'm John Budzinski. From The Mistake on the Lake, this is Type 3 TV. Over and out.